Hey folks, welcome to Mountainside. I think I woke up the pigs. So this here mess, I took about 10 minutes yesterday and, fell all this because the pigs need to move up here and we have all these little pines. So this all has to come out before the pigs move up here. So I took our pole saw yesterday, cut them down. Today I just gotta stack them because it is still too dry to burn anything outside. The rain that we got this past weekend was a whole inch, which really didn't do much. I mean, as you can see where the pigs are, I mean, it was a little muddy for a short time, but I mean, it's all dried out now. So with that inch of rain, I think if my numbers are right in my head, that means we got 7 inches of rain so far this year. Last year we had about 14 inches of rain for the first quarter of the year. Tells you where we're at rain-wise. Way down. But we're still moving forward. Doing what we can. And I know these pigs are to a point where they're going to have to move, so I got to get this picked up and at least stacked for now so we can step them up here. It's always one thing after another, you know. Today's Wednesday. It's going to be like 80 degrees. Tomorrow, I think our high is somewhere around 50. We're going to get some freezing temperatures. Might even get some snow, they said. I guess that's to be determined. We'll see what happens. You know, I've been busy with a lot of things on property and just with the ministry and the farm in general. So some of our some of the grow kits that were donated to us, you know, I think we're down to one more case of those here at the house to give out. The other 6 cases and plus have gone to organizations, have gone to people. We've put them in strategic locations in town, and you know, the response was overwhelming. So that program is going great. Thank you, True Leaf Market, for helping us out in this. You know, people in town and people in Madison County in general are really appreciating it. The last 2 days, we did a lot of running around. Had to get pig food. Had to get hay for the sheep because the ewes, moms and milk, I tell you, they go through a lot. We're going through about 2 bales a day, and we're using square bales, of course. So pretty much ran out over the weekend, you know, had enough for Monday morning. But thankfully our hay farmer was able to hook us up Monday. So we made a run. We made a stop on Monday. We had to go. Amy and I went to talk to somebody yesterday in Marshall, so we were able to get another load of hay after that early yesterday afternoon. Then I had a planning board meeting for the county last evening, so I was able to get another load before that. Still have to unload that load, so we should be okay with hay for a little bit. But we are talking about getting another load next week. We're basically also helping him clear out his barn so that when he starts cutting again this year, he'll have the space and not have all this old hay sitting around. So it's a win-win for both of us. Now, this morning, before we got into the outside stuff, we did have to clean a cabin, which was nice. We have somebody coming out to spend some time, I think 2 days, to work with us around the property and get some shepherding knowledge. So we're looking forward to that, even though the temperature isn't going to be the best. But they're going to be out here, going to be, again, working with the lambs, working with the ewes. Not sure, probably not the rams, but at least the moms and the babies. So that'll be fun. It's always exciting too when people are interested in what you're doing and want to come out and learn. So we're excited about this one. That's for sure. Sorry, it's been a delay in videos, in between videos too. But Saturday, we were at our church and I was up in the attic running coaxial cable because one of our TVs wasn't working. So long story short, climbing through the rafters of the attic, running wire, pulling wire, reaching and stretching and trying to make everything happen. Right near the end, I must have turned the wrong way or something. Twisted my back. Tweaked it pretty good. Tweaked it to the point where I was actually taking some Tylenol for it. I haven't taken Tylenol in I don't know how long or anything like that. But it was to a point where I couldn't even twist or stand up or turn without wincing and almost falling. So Amy's like, nope, take some Tylenol. So I was able to thankfully do that and then push through and get more stuff done. Still trying to be real careful with it, but taking each day as it comes. Sooner or later we'll get to burn all this and get it out of the way. Probably be better if I had a chipper, but run it through the chipper and use it as bedding. But I ain't got one, so we do what we do. What we'll probably end up doing with it is once the pigs come up past it, drag it down there and burn it down there where they were, That way we have the char and stuff on the ground. Help add some nutrients back in. Go from there. So yeah, if you're interested in coming out, all the babies are on ground right now, or on the ground. They've been born. So come out, squeeze a lamb. Spend some time doing that. We had some people come out Sunday and did that. That was nice. You know, showed them around the farm and everything. They had a good time. Yeah, if you want to come out, you know, we'd love to have you. All the descriptions are below. Send us an email, reach out, call us, or if you go to the website, the numbers are on the website. Yeah, love to have you out. Also, this past Friday, we did have our live stream and in-person Bible study. For whatever reason, though, the live stream did not have any audio. I mean, Amy and I do this live streaming all the time for our church, so we kind of know what we're doing, you know, and going through and trying to troubleshoot why it didn't, I'm still not able to find a reasonable explanation as to why there was no audio. You know, I know we're putting the word of God out there, and you know, some people don't like that, and you know, they'll do what they can to stop it from getting out there. But on the technical side of everything looked fine. So if you were looking for that, we did unlisted, because we didn't want the video being out there without the audio and getting all these questions and comments, and maybe having them be maybe derogatory or anything that's not positive and uplifting. So this Friday, we're going to start in Luke 5 and see how far we get. This past Friday was Luke 3 and 4. And again, our goal is to be done going through Luke on Easter Sunday. So we may add more chapters on Fridays. We may add an extra day, like a Saturday or a Sunday, to go live, because we have limited time to get through all 24 chapters of Luke, with the 24th being on Sunday, Easter Sunday. So stay tuned for that. Let's go see what else there is to do, because I think this is ready for a pig move. Amy's not going to yell at me now.
Pigs are happy with their lunch.
You know, the transition of seasons is a challenge. And then when you have, you know, pretty much a summer day today, because it's like 80 degrees, like I was saying earlier. One day, then tomorrow, you know, or tonight, is it tonight or tomorrow night? Snow in the forecast. So it's like you're still in the middle of everything and then trying to figure stuff out, but things get to be a mess. This is exciting over here, though. This is our garlic that we planted. If you go back a couple of videos, you'll see when I got the garlic in the ground. But it's actually growing here. That's exciting. Annie's running around chasing bees and bugs. That's as she normally does. This hose must have a kink. There we go. It's a dark hose, so it doesn't really freeze, but it's a soft hose, so any kind of kink in it, the water doesn't flow. But because it's dark, the water gets hot. You got to run it a little bit, let it cool off. Yeah, funds of a homestead. And right now, where I have the rams, you know, I have to they're down in the orchard, and I haven't pulled out all the hosing yet, so I'm still carrying buckets down to them. So I got 2 buckets here I'm filling up, take down to them in a bit. But what I missed on this video is the unloading of the hay. I know it's nothing exciting, but that only took us a couple minutes. We had like 23 bales, I think, on the truck. So, but they were kind of loose, and we knew that. So it's easier for 2 people to unload because it's not like you could throw the bales or anything. You have to hand them off from the truck. But we're all set there now with hay until, like I said earlier, might make another run next week. And I'm just watching Annie. It looks like she's going to slam into the tripod here. But sometimes on a day like today, though, videos are tough to make because I'm actually helping lead our Bible study tonight at the church. So I'm trying to study and get my notes while doing my homestead work, making content for y'all, and it's just a lot. But that's okay. That's why we're here. The other thing we do is, you have to do your business side of things during business hours too. So it's like you got to stop in the middle of what you're doing and either compose or reply to an email, to get things done, because not everybody works a homestead schedule. Homestead schedule is like 24/7. So you got to make sure that you're communicating in a acceptable time frame, keeping things moving forward. We have other things in the work that we have to keep on moving forward. So we don't want to be the cause of a delay of anything. So when we get something, we try to jump on it as soon as we can. But with that said, I'm going to do some more study so I get my notes together for tonight's Bible study.
Hey, baby. Come on, we're going up this way. Come on, babies.
Now, this is one of the normal spots that the big boys are in. Yeah, actually, they're our early boys right now, except for the babies. So this is what we consider the orchard, because it had some fruit trees in it from the original owner of the property that built the cabins and everything. So, but I'll show you. But the 2 of the trees actually came down in one of the windstorms. So one is in the paddock that they're in right now. I left it there because of lack of options. And I'm dumping this. Watch out. Watch your nose. So it's still, I don't think it was an apple tree. So that's still here. The boys are actually enjoying it while they're in this spot. I think they're part of the reason it died anyways, because they would peel the bark from it. And they are still doing that, even with it laying on the ground. But we'll put 2 buckets of water in here. I usually do this in the afternoon now, since I'm doing buckets. Aha! See that? Almost. That would have been a bad day, especially with the way my back is feeling. Thank you, Lord, I didn't fall. You know, working in this terrain, things could happen in the blink of an eye. So you always got to be cautious, on your guard, minding your step. Come on. Just be prepared. I'm just thankful I didn't fall there. Clark would have liked to see me fall, though. Okay, fence is on. Water's in. And I am throwing them hay because this ground doesn't have a lot of growth in it. So we've put seed down here. Some of it's taken. But with the lack of moisture, you know, putting the hay down, I believe will help maintain moisture too. So they're eating most of it, but they are leaving some spent on the ground, which is good. And then once they're done here, I'm going to keep on moving them this way because we have some right-of-way maintenance that we have to take care of for the power company. So trying to extend the paddock areas, move them through this. I want to lime it today. So I'll get some lime out, put it down. And then I'll end up seeding it too, so it grows grass instead of stuff they don't eat.
Hello. I'm just bringing you up to date on what we've been doing over the past couple of days. I think the last video I had put up the duck and some of the roosters and the rooster stock. Well, there were so many roosters they wouldn't fit in the roaster, so I did another batch, so I ended up with more meat and more stock from that. But now, this is the rest of some of the lamb that we harvested a couple weeks ago. This is like the third batch of lamb stock that I'm making, and because it won't all fit in the roaster. But yeah, there's actually like some ribs and other bones in there. We tried to smoke the ribs before and cook them different ways, but this actually works out really well because I'll let this cook all down for a couple of days, and then I pick off all the meat, and then I'll do stuff like shepherd's pie with it. So none of the meat's going to waste. It's definitely really good this way. So I'm gonna get that started and probably find another project to do. So a while back I picked up a couple of these 55-gallon drums. It had human grade food, but it was older and couldn't be used for human consumption. So we ended up getting for animal consumption. But I don't know if you remember, or maybe I didn't even post it, but I remember I was looking in here and I'm like, what am I gonna do with a 55-gallon drum of potatoes? What am I supposed to do with all these potatoes? I really just need them. Okay, so I knew the 55-gallon drum had potatoes in it, but when you see a 55-gallon drum full of dehydrated potatoes, it's a lot. But the pigs are going to be really happy. I got a bucket of water here, and I'm just going to soak them overnight and see how they like them in the morning. Well, the pigs answered that for me because there's only a little bit left. They went through that inside of like 7 weeks. So yeah, they eat a lot. But I'm definitely thankful for this. I still have one that's about halfway full of oatmeal, and then I had another one that was full of lentils, and I still have a fair amount of lentils left, but the potatoes went really fast. So I think it's kind of funny. A while back, saw where folks would kind of make their own food for their chickens, and I'm like, there's no way I would ever do that. That's next level disgusting. Well, here I am, nevering like I've never before. Got a bucket there, got a bucket up there, got a couple buckets over there. So in a couple of the buckets, I've got the innards from when we processed the rams, and in the other ones, we've got a couple possums, one of the lambs that passed away, but yeah, but the flies are doing their magic, and they're making little larvae, and the chickens now have another protein source. So pretty much for the cost of a bucket and a lid, I mean, it's free food for the chickens. So yeah, it works.
All right, folks. I got me a bowl of chicken salad that Amy made from the roosters that she processed the other day, and got my study material in front of me. I've got to get my notes done for tonight. It's a little bit behind schedule. His word will go out as he intends it to.
See, it's starting to simmer down. It will eventually all get under that water, but it'll take a day. All right, we are back from Bible study, and I had to leave a little bit early so I could feed the pigs, make sure the chickens were tucked in, and I had to move the sheep to one pen over. So got them fed. Everybody's just about done. I got some bottles warming up over here that I'm gonna feed to a couple of the triplet sets to make sure they get enough milk. But I know I don't really share much about what we eat, and I need to get better about that. But tonight is going to be leftovers. We've got some leftover corned beef and cabbage. I made that. I made it actually Sunday, so we had that Sunday and Monday. It was a brisket that we had marinated for like weeks, and it turned out really good. I've also got some of the roosters here. We had chicken salad with that for lunch today. I've got one piece of lamb tenderloin that somebody will probably eat tonight, but I'm probably going to go with the corned beef and cabbage, and then I also made some homemade kraut, so I'm probably going to have that as well. And here's my little setup for the bottles. I just warm up the water there, pour it all in the mugs, and then warm up the milk that way. What are you doing? All right, it is now the next day. The lid actually fits on there properly, And yes, everything is under the liquid level. I'll probably let this go for another day and pick all the meat off and quart up the stock.